Hey, how are you today? Welcome to another installment of the Next Evolution Athletics Online Q&A. Today we have a nutrition question, and it's a pretty good one. I'll read it out. I have a little bit of a story about a similar scenario, and then I'll get into the answer. So it'll be about a few minutes. So, question. Sometimes I don't feel hungry in the mornings, so I don't eat until mid-morning or lunch. And if I do eat, sometimes it's a piece of fruit, nothing too heavy. Is that okay? Or sometimes I do force myself to eat, but I don't like to, obviously. Okay, that's a pretty good question. It does stumble upon me quite a few times when people just don't feel like eating. So here's the answer. It depends. As most answers in health and fitness, the answer is always going to be it depends as it starts. That's just how my world is. So it depends because what are your goals, and it depends on a ton of factors. But I'll tell you the story, and then I'll tell you kind of several answers, and then we'll get into it a little bit. All right, so I had a client before, and he was always the same weight for 20 years, never changed. And he said it was impossible for him to lose weight or gain weight. He was always going to be the same weight. So he wanted 2 or 3 nutrition programs over a period of like a couple of years, and he'd do them for a day or 2 or maybe 3 and then not do them anymore. So he finally registered for powerlifting competition and wanted to drop down a weight class. Now, normally I don't really care too much if normally I don't really enjoy first-time athletes, second-time athletes cutting weight to make weight classes when they first start out. It's kind of you're having a pressure on yourself, but he really wanted to get to Worlds. Then he only had to lose like 8 or 9 pounds. So this guy who could never lose weight or gain weight wanted a nutrition program. I told him, so I'm giving you a nutrition program is pointless because you won't follow them. So he said he'd follow it. So we went back and forth, and finally, I literally gave him the exact same program. I changed nothing on this program that didn't work before at all, except the date. I did change the date. Okay. So I gave him the program, and within 4 weeks, he was at his weight class. Same program, didn't work before. This time it worked. And the reason it worked is because the only thing consistent about this guy's diet, even when he had a nutrition program, was he was consistently inconsistent. So what do I mean by that? One day he'd have 3,000 calories of food. The next day he'd have 1,200 calories of food. The next day he'd have 4,000 calories of food. The next day he'd have 2,200 calories in food. The next day he'd have 3,800 calories in food. The next day he'd have 1,000 calories in food. The next day, it was so inconsistent, his body really had no idea what to do. And at the end of the week, he was at maintenance because that's what it calorically balanced out to. You know? So to answer the question, no, you don't have to eat in the morning if you're hungry. You just don't. However, you do have to get the calories in to create a consistent environment for the body to work toward the goal that you've laid out. Okay? So what I mean by that is, if you're consistently inconsistent, your body doesn't know if you want to gain, lose, or maintain. It doesn't know what you want it to do. So at the end of the week, it looks at what you've done and what you've taken in, and it's like, okay, I guess we're down, or I guess we're up, or I guess we're the same. Usually, because the body enjoys being at a homeostatic, being in homeostasis, you'll balance out to roughly what you have always weighed. So you need to be consistent and build the habits. Yeah, there's some days I just don't feel like eating. But if I'm trying to gain weight, you shut the hell up and eat. If I'm trying to lose weight, I keep the habits in place for allowing me to do it, that allow me to get weight loss. Right now, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight because getting back into martial arts and weighing 215 sucks. So I got to get down to between 205 and 195, and then probably hover around 195, 200 for a little bit to get used to it. But I'm being in a caloric deficit. I'm also increasing my non-exercise activity. So to answer the question, it will depend. And no, you don't have to eat first thing in the morning if you aren't hungry, but you do have to make up the calories on the back end. And that is usually what happens with most people. So usually what happens is they won't eat in the morning and they won't have anything till lunch, and then they have their lunch, and then they have their snack, and then they have their supper, and then by the end of the day, they're freaking starving and they gorge, and then they go over the top in calories. Well, that starts the spiral of inconsistency, because then you have too much food at night, you go to bed, you can't sleep right, you don't sleep right, you feel like crap, you wake up in the morning, you're still tired, you eat extra calories because your leptin levels, which are uh, the hormones that tell you that you're full, are decreased, and then your ghrelin levels, which are the hormones that tell you you're hungry, are increased, so you're twice as hungry. So you start to create patterns, and patterns that don't allow you to get the goals you want, okay? So to answer this question, I'd say it really depends on the individual. For some people that need consistency and build the habits, I would say shut up and eat. Seriously, you have to create the habits, because if you don't, what's going to happen is down later in the end of the day, you're going to gorge on food because you're hungry, and that's just how it is. Because you dropped your surplus. Instead of like a 200 calorie surplus, you're at like an 800 calorie surplus, and your body just goes crazy and wants all the food. Okay? If you're someone that has the discipline to control that in the evening, and you can have your calories in a shorter span of time, that's fine. It really is. But it's all about being consistent with your goals and being consistent with what you want to accomplish and how you want to do it. Not every program is going to be perfect for every individual. You have to adapt them. Okay? When I write a program for an individual, I look at what they tell me and I try and make it as best to their lifestyle. But there are some days that it's not perfect. At the end of the day, you just have to adapt it. So it's all about being consistent with the calories that you for the goals that you want. Okay? If you're one of those people that cannot stop eating at the end of the day because you're hungry, definitely wake up and have breakfast consistently even if you aren't hungry, just to create the habits. Because by the end of the day, you won't be hungry anyway. It's fine. If you're one of those people that has a discipline, you can give a little more leeway. So I hope that helps. That's what we have for today. It's a great question. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to DM me, message me. I love answering these questions. These are super fun. And again, nothing I say is gospel. It's just what I've learned from my studies and what I've experienced. So I hope that helps. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. We've got more stuff coming your way, not just nutrition, but it can also be a lot of training stuff, a lot of movement stuff, some martial arts stuff, getting back into that, powerlifting stuff, a lot of stuff coming up. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Keep getting your strong on, and I appreciate you. Have a good one.